Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's service. I'd like to begin the service with Kansho tolling of the bell. Hello, good morning. Okay, I just hit the Kansho tolling of the bell. And then now we would like to have a moment of quiet meditation, quiet sitting. Okay, I'll hit the bell, and then maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes later, I will hit the bell again to stop quiet sitting meditation. Okay, so the next is community invocational chanting, Shishinrai, which is on page 39 in the attached PDF attached to the announcement email. Or if you have a purple service book, it is on page 27. Okay, and then after that, ごめんなさい. I think this is this is 重生芸. Yeah, and then sutra chanting is そうね, this order ね. So Shishinrai first. Okay. Shishinrai. And then after that, we will chant the Sutra Juseige, which is from the larger sutra. This sutra chanting Juseige you can find on page 100 of the PDF or page 93 of the Purple Service Book. Okay. よろしくお願いします。Sorry. Before I start, let me double check the audio setting. No one doubts. No one doubts. No one.
不要一切物、具足
元年心上満、得意三害を、両仏無下地、通達未不詳、願学営利、投資最小尊、志願や国家、大戦を感動、国書天人、法内妙見。アマンダブ。アマンダブ。アマンダブ。アマンダブ。アマンダブ。アマンダブ。アニシクドク、ヨドセイサイ、ドウホク、オダイシ、オウジョウ、アンラナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ、ナマンダーツ。Thank you. Okay, so the next thing is community reading, Three Treasures one, which is on page 22 of the download PDF file, or if you have a service book on page 8. Namanda. Namanda. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are healing. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even though myriad ages of karpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Good morning, everyone. ありがとうございます。Thank you for joining today's Sunday service. So now I would like to give a Dharma message. So let me share my screen. Can you see the slide? 純子さん大丈夫? Okay, はい、ありがとう。Thank you, thank you. Okay, so before I start my Dharma message, I would like to begin reading this passage, how to listen to Dharma message. How to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if the message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 弔問の心得。この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべし。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。Hi, again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's service. It's already March 20th. In 10 days, it's April. So time flies. はいですね。So I hope everybody is okay. Yeah, so I think spring has come, but when we look at the news on TV or internet, so many sad things going on in the world. I feel, I really hope, sincerely hope that the war in Ukraine will end soon as possible. So my Dharma message today is this. This is like a quote by Shinran, Shinran Shonin, the founder of our school, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, who lived in the 12th, 13th century in Japan. Then actually, this is the Dharma message that I gave before, but since Junko-san requested one more time, so I'm going to give this Dharma message today. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. May there be peace in the world, and may the Buddha's teaching spread. In Japanese, 世の中安穏なれ、仏法広まれ。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏。So this passage by, Venerable Shinran Shonin, can be found one of his letters. He wrote many writings, and then also he sent many letters to his followers, disciples. Then this passage, short phrase from one of his letters. Then I think it's very, very important message. As a Buddhist, he wished for like a peace in the world peace, and then also spread of the Dharma. So from this passage, I would like to talk about how to reduce conflict and have more acceptance. When we look at this world, I know you have many friends, you have people you like, and that you get along with. But it is also true that we also have people who we do not like, or maybe people, hard to get along with. So maybe, we are living in a community in this world surrounded by many people, live this world with many people, but there are many different kinds of people. The Shakyamuni Buddha pointed out 4 challenges or difficulties, suffering in this world as long as we live: birth, getting old, getting sick, and death. Those are 4 essential sufferings, challenges we have to deal with to live in this world. And then Shakyamuni Buddha also have additional 4. So in Japanese we call shikuhaku. Shikuhaku means there are 4 suffering challenges, and then also 8 challenge sufferings. And then the slide is one of the 8. As long as we live in this world, we have to deal with people we do not like, or people hard to get along with. So that's why I like Buddhism. The many teachings Shakyamuni Buddha delivered to us, it's very reasonable, and then I totally agree with what the Shakyamuni Buddha said. Even me, I have people who hard to get along with. So then how to deal with this kind of difficulty challenges. So Buddhism not just pointing out the realities, difficulties of this world, but at the same time, this teaching of wisdom gives us a guidance, solution to live this tough life. So today, let me use this story example. You see a pond, and then birds, and then in the pond there are fish, and then ochayasan, it's a kind of cafe next to the pond. Okay, so this guy comes to this pond, and then he clapped his hands, and then what will happen? So let me look at the birds first. So this guy clapped his hands, and those birds were surprised, and then they kind of flew away. So this is a sort of a reaction, birds, their reaction to clappings of the hands. Then they are surprised, and then they flew away. And then in this pond, there is fish, maybe like a carp, koi in Japanese. And then, as some of you know, when we clap hands, sometimes carps come to us, and then they think, oh, it's meal time. So clap hands, and then we give them a fruit. So for these fish, carps, clappings of hands, oh, it's a kind of sign of meal time. So that's why those carps comes approaches us. And then, as I said, there is a cafe ochayasan in Japanese, and then staff comes out, and then what can I get for you? They think, oh, customers here, so that's why staff comes out, and they say, what can I get for you? So this guy clapped his hands, but birds, fish, carps, and then cafe staff, they showed different response. And then why were their reactions different? Because their interpretation of clappings of hand are different. Right? The birds, they are surprised. Oh, so we need to get away, leave here. And then fish, carps, they thought, oh, it's a meal time. And then staff of cafe, they thought, oh, customers is here. So I would say this clappings of hands, no fixed meaning. Depending on how we take that clapping hand, has a different meaning. So in other words, there is no fixed meaning, this clapping hand. So that's why open to any interpretation. So this is one of the Buddhist teachings, emptiness. emptiness. So things has nothing, fixed, no absolute fixed meaning. Things changes its meaning depending on the situation or depending on how we interpret them. So our interpretation is very, very important. How we take, other people's action, what people say, what people behave. So in other words, our interpretation is important. How to interpret them. Then how do we interpret others, what people say or what people, think, what people behave. So when we interpret, take other people's actions, words, if we have narrow or limited views, or then maybe we just fix meaning, and then we lose flexibility to other possible other interpretations or meanings. So when we interpret or see things with a narrow or limited view, it is something like this on the screen. We see, using like a narrow pipe, and then our view's sight is kind of limited. So to me, Buddhism, or maybe Buddha's guidance, wisdom is something like that. Why don't you take a step back? We try to see things, through a narrow pipe. And then Buddha says, hey, Kiyo, just step back. And then get a, broader views, broader perspective. When we get a broader perspective, view, and then we can see more things. That means we can have more, broader interpretation, and then more acceptance, opinions, ideas, different from mine. And then when we do so, right? Broader perspectives, and then see more things, and then more, possibility of interpretation. And then that leads to acceptance or flexibility. And then at the same time, this acceptance, flexibility brings us, less chances of conflict, argument, fights. So in our tradition, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we follow the guidance of Amida Buddha. So this Buddha established 48 vows to guide, to embrace, to save us. This Buddha established 48 vows. And then based on this, vows or resolution, this Buddha has been providing a guidance, embracing us. One of them is I'm showing on the screen, which is 33rd vow, 33rd vow. When I attain Buddhahood, the sentient beings throughout the countless and inconceivable Buddha's land in the 10 quarters, having received my light and have been touched by it, I think this there is a typo, will become soft and gentle in body and mind, surpassing humans' endeavors in those qualities. Should it not be so, may I not attain the perfect enlightenment. So this Buddha, sometimes called Buddha of light, Buddha of light. So sometimes this light breaks our darkness of our ignorance. Or this light shows us who I am or how I live my everyday life. So light is very, very important. Even if we have a good eyes, but if there is no light, we cannot see things. In the same way, Amida's light of wisdom gives us allows us to see things more spiritually, see things more things. And then with the help, support of this Amida Buddha's light, we can see more things spiritually. And then, as I showed in the previous slide, that Buddha's light broadens our perspective, brings us more flexibility, acceptance. That means those who have encountered, touched by Buddha's light, become soft and gentle in body and mind. So maybe broader perspective, more flexibility, acceptance, which is, soft and gentle in mind. And then because of that mind, our behavior, our action will be more kind, soft to other people. So I would say this is the teaching or guidance of Buddha. This Buddha of light, broaden our perspective. And that's how we see, more things. And then because of that acceptance, flexibility, our mind's body gets soft and gentle. So that's why this Buddha's teaching, guidance, reduce the conflict or fight in this world. Not just fight wars, but many other social issues. I'm sure Buddha's light is very important. Buddha's light allows us, show us many things, or opens our eyes. Right? So that's why it is very important to spread this teaching, the teaching of Buddha's wisdom. And as a result, we can achieve, we can approach to the more peaceful, harmonious world. So that's why Shinran Shonin said, 世の中のなれ仏法広まれ. And then especially leaders of community, leaders of the country, they need to have this kind of attitude, right? Broader perspectives, or have to think about the impact, influence his or her decision. So as a Buddhist, of course, it is very important to take action to stop the war. But at the same time, it is also important to spread this teaching or put the seed of Dharma to other people's heart. And so that we can have more peace, broader perspective. And then that kind of broader perspective, I'm sure, make great contribution, important contribution to achieve harmonious, peaceful society, peaceful world. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. So this is my Dharma message today. I would like to close my message reading Shinran Shonin's passage one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. May there be peace in the world, and may the Buddha's teaching spread. In Japanese, it is said, 世の中安穏なれ、仏法広まれと。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏。はい、Thank you.